Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Gavriel Porten. I'm an educator at MUS, and I'd like to talk to you about education under fire, what it was like teaching evacuee students from Sderot and Kiryat Shmona in the first months of the war in Tel Aviv, where I live. My students from MUS left right when the war broke out, and I was left essentially, I wouldn't say unemployed, but with no students. And a couple weeks later, my life changed and I found myself teaching these evacuee children. Number one, first thing I learned, serendipity, or divine providence, or as they say, hashgacha pratis. A couple weeks into the war, I called a good friend of mine, Chana from Tel Aviv, check how she's doing, how the family's doing, and she said to me, "We're fine. Do you want to teach some little kids from Sderot?" I said, "Teach them what?" She said, "Anything. Come tomorrow in the afternoon, cute kids, do something." I said, "Okay." Came the next day, 5 sweet kids, did a little Parsha class. It was great. She said, "Come tomorrow." I said, "Great." I came the next day. Their brothers came, little siblings. It wasn't so great. I called her up that evening and I said, "Look, maybe I'll tutor them." She said, "Great idea. But I have a better one," she said. "Next week, we're opening up a school. How would you like to teach 5th, 6th grade boys?" Quiet. Number 2, call of duty, or if I'm for myself, what am I? And if not now, when, as the rabbi said. So I deliberated. I bought time and I said, let me think about it. I called my best friend, David, who lives in Yerushalayim, and I said, "What do you think? Maybe I should do it, but 5th, 6th grade, I don't really know if I can do it. I've never..." And he said, "Now is not the time to deliberate. Now is the time to act." And I said, "But..." And he said, "I said what I said." So I called Hannah up and I said, "I'm in." Number 3, what do you do with 5th, 6th grade boys? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Or, as the rabbi said, En ha-baishan lamed. If you are shy, you will not learn. So I scrambled. I called everybody who I know who might know something about 5th, 6th grade boys. Number 4, keep it simple. Or, what do schedules, Bisley Grill, and Hangman have in common? Sometimes the simplest things are the most profound. I ended up reaching a middle school teacher who teaches 5th, 6th grade boys in a lot. And he gave me 3 life-saving tips. Number 1, write the daily schedule on the board before you start the day. It gives them clarity. It gives them a mizgeret, a framework. It gives them security. So I did, and it worked. And when they said, "Teacher, what are we doing next?" Look at the board. And when they asked again, their friend said, "Don't you see the board?" Number 1. Number 2, how do you control 5th, 6th grade boys who've just been evacuated from a war zone? He said, "Bisley." I said, "What do you mean, Bisley?" He said, "You ask a question, and if they don't raise their hands, you say, 'Raise your hands, you'll get the Bisley.' And they raise their hands. And if they're running around, you say, 'Sit down, you want the Bisley?' And I said, 'What, you give them a pack every time?' He said, 'No, I give them 1. And I said, 'It works?' He said, 'Yes, it does.' Number 3, Hangman. He said, 'Well, how do you teach them? He said, 'Games, competitions, fun things.' So we played a lot of Hangman on the weekly portion of the Torah. Number 5, my dark, dormant demons, or as the rabbi said, do not believe in yourself until the day you die. Me? I'm a calm dude. I'm relaxed, I'm chill, I'm composed, until I met 5th, 6th grade boys. And I found myself one day in a clash a disciplinary clash with one of the students. I lost. I thought I was going to throw him out the window head first. And then I realized, wow, you've got some work to do. Me? I'm not always so calm and collected. Number 6, education doesn't only take place in the classroom, or the real stuff go down in the playground. I spent countless hours watching them and playing with them. Football, a cross between soccer and volleyball, and the schoolyard became the laboratory. There I could observe, discipline, earn their respect, and bond with them, all at the same time. Hours of volleyball. Number 7, the power of the familiar, or the strength of routine, or as the Torah states when it talks about the daily sacrifice that had to be brought in the temple, Temidim kesidram umusafim kehilchatam. One day, the principal, Hannah, my friend, who called me, we sat down at the end of the day and she said, because at the end of the day we always were sitting down to think, what are we going to do the next day? Because that's what it was at the beginning, from one day to the next. And she said, look, we got a donation of math workbooks, dozens of them. And I said, okay. And she said, let's give it a try. You know, Mikey and the cereal, maybe he'll like it. I said, they're not going to sit down and do math workbooks. She said, what can you lose? So the next morning, on the schedule, remember that one, was written math. And the students were like, Hamore maze, what's that? I said, math. And when the period began, I simply took out the workbooks, placed them on the tables, and lo and behold, they opened the workbooks and started working. And my jaw dropped. These are kids who were running around like wild animals for days. We had to contain them. But it turned out that this was their routine, and this was what they were used to. And when you placed it on the table, they slipped right into it. And aside from hangmen and a lot of football and breaking up fistfights, we started working math. Number 8, it's all about setting goals and expectations. If we, as adults, as teachers, are clear about what we expect from them, more often than not, the students will rise to the occasion. Ma, more, אנחנו מתפללים, we're davening? Yes, sit down. Ma, more, לובשים ציצית, we have to wear tzitzit? Yes. Ah, okay. They put them on. In the courtyard, in the playground, everyone plays. Ma, more, he's not. Everyone is playing. Oh, they're all in. We will learn math and Parashat HaShavua. Ah, okay. Beasley? Number 9. Kol Yisrael arivim ze bazeh, said the rabbis. All of Israel are guarantors. We all have to look out for each other. We're all responsible for each other. One of the incredible things that happened after October 7th was the incredible wave of volunteering. Whatever we needed in the school, all we had to do was go into a WhatsApp group, put out the request, and we got it. We needed a kindergarten. There was a bomb shelter. Bomb shelter, little kids, it's musty. WhatsApp, contractor, and the next day there were a group of 10 Tel Avivians, completely secular. I forgot to mention this was a religious school, a place where a year prior they wouldn't have stepped foot with the demonstrations and the strife, and they were painting the walls, and they were making them beautiful with colorful rainbows and Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet in all colors. And within 3 days, there was a kindergarten. We needed the math workbooks, text, they came. Kol Yisrael arevim ze bazeh. And the last lesson, I think number 10, Mikol melamdai hiskalti, umitalmidai yoter mikulam. From all of my teachers, I have learned, but from my students, I have learned the most. It was, at first, a humbling experience to discover my shortcomings, my challenges, my faults, to go up against a brick wall again and again. But it was a learning experience, and it was an incredibly rewarding experience. And I want to end by showing you the pictures of these fine young lads. Taking them out in Tel Aviv, because we did a lot of tiulim, a lot of field trips, and they were very happy with the popsicles. Somebody donated a boating trip at the Tel Aviv marina. They were very happy. And here we are in the last week. There were 3 of us left because they started dropping slowly, going to other schools, permanent schools, going back home. Education under fire. I don't know if I would recommend it, but if you have to do it, it's a tremendously rewarding experience. And thanks to my many years of experience of teaching at MUS, I had the tools to come and do something which was completely out of my box. But Baruch Hashem, thank God, ultimately was a big success. Thank you.